Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Katelyn, and today, before we jump into our 100 Dragon Challenge, this video is sponsored by Ohuhu. So we have an awesome sponsor today, Ohuhu Markers. They sent me this awesome pack of markers that we're going to be using on today's dragon. If you guys would like to grab your own set of markers, I'll have this one linked down below in the description, as well as you can use my coupon code Katelyn10 to get 10% off any order of Ohuhu markers. Along with the sponsorship, I wanted to do a quick plug for Ohuhu's drawing contest, Ohuhu Green Artistry, Embracing the Spirit of Nature. They want you to create artwork that celebrates and promotes a sustainable lifestyle. If you want to check out more about this drawing contest, I'll also have it linked in the description below. There's a lot of really awesome prizes up for grabs. They have the mega 320 Ohuhu marker set up for the grand prize, as well as some other really awesome gift box sets for silver and gold. Thank you, Ohuhu, for sponsoring this again, so let's jump into the video and test these markers out. All right, well, with the sponsorship segment out of the way, let's do our regularly scheduled intro. Hey, everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Katelyn, and today we're continuing the 100 Dragon Challenge. So, first and foremost, as you probably saw from the title, we're doing an amazing rainbow dragon, but I also wanted to wish you all a happy Pride Month. I wanted to combo this with Pride Month, and then also, this was the perfect dragon to happen during the Ohuhu sponsorship. I wasn't sure when it was going to go through, but I'm very excited that we get to do it with the rainbow dragon so we can really test the grit of the Ohuhu markers and just like really put them through their paces and try all of the different colors from them. So it kind of worked out perfectly. But anyway, a little bit of inspiration for this creature is I've had this one in my mind for a while of a combo that I wanted to do for this dragon. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to do that for the rainbow dragon. When I get to it, we're going to do it. And so today's creature is like a dragon, obviously, but it's a combination of a chameleon and a mantis shrimp. I absolutely love the gorgeous coloring of the mantis shrimp, and I thought its armor plating could lend really well to a dragon design. And then, of course, the reptilian nature of a chameleon, I think, would translate awesome to a dragon as well. So this one is kind of like, I don't know, maybe like a Drake / like lung style dragon. But I wanted to also kind of give it quote unquote wings with like these little cool side fins that are kind of reminiscent of the mantis shrimp. But I was super pleased with how the design was looking with this initial sketch being done, and I just wanted a really awesome pose to go with this one, and I already had one in my brain. This one is probably my new favorite out of, I don't know if it's all the 100 Dragon Challenges, but it feels like all the 100 Dragon Challenges. Like this one just really is like top of my list, and I was really excited to do it. Like this one I was just so pumped to do. And I was really looking forward to creating this one just because this has been an idea for a long time. And I think it really shows with this one. I know it's been like hit and miss. I feel like some of my dragons don't hit their mark. I think that's just what happens when you have to be creative all the time. Like something doesn't always work out perfectly. But man, when it hits right, oh, it's amazing what creativity can bring. So I did this kind of pose that was, I felt it was like a very chameleon-like pose, like on a stick, kind of like showing off its cool body and like looking up at you. I don't know. I just thought it was really cool, and I just knew I wanted to do this pose. Even before I started this, I'm like, I already know the pose I want to do. So like I said, yeah, this one just kind of, I don't know, it just jived perfectly with me, and everything really worked out really well. Pausing your video for a quick interruption, I just wanted to plug really fast that my Katelyn McCaigue Creature Compendium Volume 2 went live on Kickstarter yesterday. I'm so excited to finally be releasing this book. It's the second volume in my Creature Compendium series where I take my monsters from YouTube and Twitch and Instagram, all the monsters you've seen on this channel, and I spec them and add lore to them so you can put them in your Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition games. So if you want to check it out, grab a copy for yourself. Make sure to check out the Kickstarter and the info card and in the description below. Okay, back to the episode. And this one also took a very long time. You'll see later on with the coloring, but even like the line work, I wanted to add a lot of detailing and kind of a lot of really cool components from the mantis shrimp and the chameleon combined. And so I had to figure out some of those things and really nail them in the line work. So I added some of these, like, I don't know if you'd call them like fins per se. I feel like I don't know the terminology. So if anyone is familiar with like mantis shrimp or like any type of crustacean or I don't know, that type of aquatic creature, you can tell me in the description below. But they have these, like, right around their face area, they have these like plate fin looking things that look like they have little hairs on the end of them in like red. So I don't know what they're called, but I was like, those need to be kind of like frills of like a reptile or like a dragon and have those like right by the face. And then I wanted them running along the body as well, because I'm like, oh, those are kind of like almost like little mini wings, but they also could like double as like extra fins or something for helping this thing like change direction in the water. I don't know, something like that. But I really loved how it was looking, and it kind of gives the appearance of wings, but they're just like little tiny cute little wings. So after the initial line work was done, I added a couple more thicker lines so we could differentiate some perspective, I guess. Not perspective, but when a part of a character is closer to you, you want to have a thicker line weight. I think I've talked about this in a previous episode, but just thought I'd revisit it. And then here was where we got to test out all the Ohuhu markers. So, like I said, this one used a lot of colors because it's a rainbow dragon. So we had to use at least one marker of every color in the rainbow. I end up using like 2 for every color just so we can have the primary color and the shading marker. And then I do incorporate a couple other colors along with it to kind of give a little bit more to this creature. So from just the initial opening of the pack, I was pretty pleased with the amount of colors that came in this pack. I kind of wish I had a little bit more variety, but I was pretty pleased with it. I think I'm just kind of spoiled with the amount of Copic colors I have because I have quite a few. I have never counted, but I feel like I have probably close to 75, maybe even 100 Copics. So going down to a 47 Ohuhu pack, I'm like, oh man, I'm missing some of my colors, but I feel that's not a huge problem at all when creating this one, because I just got to layer and blend and really build up these markers. So I'll give you my honest review of Ohuhu markers. They totally said I could chat about it and let you guys know what I think. And first off, I would say these are a very strong competitor for Copic markers. I actually like certain things about it more than Copic markers, which is a lot to say after doing almost 100 of these dragons in exclusively Copic markers. So first and foremost, they do blend very well. They blend like kind of similarly to Copic markers, but I think you need the colorless blender to really get them to blend fully like Copic markers. Usually with Copic markers, I take the lighter color and go over the darker color a few times, which does work with these markers, but to really get a full blend, I love using the colorless blender with these Ohuhu markers. And actually, I like the colorless blender of these markers more than the Copic one. I've noticed with the Copic one, it like really sucks up the color of the marker that you're blending, and then you can't really use it very quickly. I've always had a problem with Copic marker blenders just instantly taking on, like if I blended purple, that marker is now purple. But with the Ohuhu ones, it actually did not take on the color of any of them that I was mixing and like trying to blend. So I was able to quickly keep using it between colors, and I absolutely loved that about these markers. Another thing I really like about these markers is the tip of the brush pen is actually pretty sturdy, which I like. I think depending on what artist you ask, you might get a little bit of mixed reviews on that. But with Copics, like you can, when you're coloring, the tip almost like fully folds over. Like you could push it pretty close to the paper and make the whole tip fold over, which I don't know. It has some pros and cons to being able to color like that, but I like my drawing utensils to have a little bit more, I guess, sturdiness to them. So I was very happy that it was basically a very sturdy brush tip, which made it easier to color and they didn't fold over super easily, and it was great. All of them also came like super juicy. Like all of them had a ton of ink, so I had no problem using them. You know, sometimes you get a brush pack or like a marker pack and one of them's a dud, but I checked all of them and they were all really great and they all worked really well. So that's a good sign when you're not really getting any like low quality or not juiced up markers in your pack. And then in terms of like pigmentation, I do think these turned out really beautiful and bright. There was a lot of great variety in the pack. It just wasn't the variety I needed for a rainbow dragon. I probably would have pushed a few colors a little bit more if I had, I guess, some more of these like primary colors in the pack, but it does come with a good variety. I think this is a good starting pack for coloring different things. I would say it doesn't have as many, I guess, skin tones or anything like that, so you might need to buff that pack out a little more if you're looking to draw or color people, but this was great for this multicolored dragon creature. And I feel if I had even more of these markers, like if I got one of the bigger packs, I'd be even more set. So overall, I'm going to give these Ohuhu markers like, ooh, it's hard to give them a number rating. I'm going to give them, oh God, I would say like an 8.5 to a 9 out of 10. I was very pleased with them and they were very nice to work with. I actually really enjoyed working with them. A couple of my YouTube friends use them full time instead of Copic markers because, yeah, they're much more affordable and they work really well. And now I know why they use these primarily. So if you are looking to grab some new markers for your art setup, check out my links below. You support me directly by going through those links and ordering from my affiliate link, as well as you can get that 10% off by using Katelyn10. And then real quick about this dragon. I know I've already talked about it a little bit with the design and everything, but I love this one. I was just so pleased with how this turned out, and the colors ended up working so well. I was a little afraid with the amount of colors that I did have to use that it would kind of like look all the same, but I was able to kind of differentiate a little bit the plating versus the body just by stippling and like the coloring technique that is used for them. So I was really happy with it. Oh, okay. One random thing that I really like about the Ohuhu markers. Okay. I just remembered this because I'm watching this live while I'm doing voiceover. I really like that the gray, like the cool gray and the warm gray, when you color over existing color with it, it doesn't pull the color out. One of the things I don't like about shading with Copics is when you put gray on top of any color, it actually seems to like pull the color off of the page. So then you lose color while shading. I don't know if I explained that very well, but I hope you guys get it. I really like that about these because it didn't like take away all of those colors that I put down. It just added gray on top of them, which was great. I hate when that happens with Copic markers. So this was awesome that it just kind of blended on top of it and it didn't take away any of the color. So after a long, tedious process of coloring this thing, I was happy to call it done. I love how this turned out. It took quite a while. I don't even know how many hours it did take, but it was a labor of love just because of all the stippling and color. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. But let's go ahead and look at last month's dragon, which is the Oni dragon. Mage Goat Tea, I really like the texturing that you have on your Oni dragon and just like that little person in the foreground. It's a really cool and moody piece. Gree 2489, I thought this one was really cute, and I love your different like colors that you chose for your Oni dragon and having him with the big club. It's just a really cute design overall. And all of you did great on your Oni dragons. I loved seeing all of them. So if you want to participate in this month's Rainbow Dragon, make sure to post it on Twitter or Instagram with the hashtag KM100Dragons, or you can join our Discord server. We have a whole channel there dedicated to uploading your dragons and sending in some suggestions. I know we're kind of at the end of our dragon run, but feel free to drop some suggestions. Maybe we'll do a few of them in the future, even if it's not on the 100 Dragon Challenge per se. But either way, thank you guys again so much for stopping by and checking out this video. And if you aren't already, I'd really appreciate it if you hit the subscribe button, join our community, and thank you again, Ohuhu, for sponsoring this video. But yeah, either way, thanks again. Happy Pride, everyone. Have a wonderful June. And I'll see you all next time. Bye, everybody.